all heard that melody. If you didn't hear that melody ever in your life, well, you got some stuff to do. Well, this is obviously Tetris, and I originally planned to make my own version of Tetris in Unity, but then I came across following. I still have these cassettes laying around. I love cassettes and old tech generally, and I heard about the Commodore C64, or what's it called, a fair bit of times now. And with that, the datasets. And so I wondered, well, the dataset is nothing else than just a normal cassette probably, so why not try to store data on these? Okay, so what do I actually need to do? I need some files. Okay, done. I already have a massive amount of files. Then I need them to be converted into sound so I can actually store it. Let's just write a little program. I have already done that, and here in Visual Studio Code you can see that. Yeah, it's not a great program, but more on that later. So it takes your file that you want to store on the cassette and turns it into binary, so speak ones and zeros, computer language. It turns these ones and zeros into sounds, lower frequencies for zeros and higher frequencies for ones. Let me show you that. Here's my little program: bit duration, low frequency, high frequency and redundancy. Well, the low frequency is for the zeros obviously, the high frequency for the ones. Bit duration is just how long these zeros and ones get portrayed in the WAV file. So redundancy is just how often they get repeated. If we just take this tetris.pdf and let's say test_encode, then we just wait a little. Okay, so it's now finished. Let's search it. Oops. There it is. Let's hear it. As you can hear, it's not beautiful, but that's still okay. Okay, but what's an encoder without a decoder? Let's select the WAV file. Name it tetris.pdf, for example. Yeah, overwrite that. And just wait a minute. Okay, and here's the proof that this product is absolute Yeah, my coding skills aren't the very best in Python, and especially not when it comes to this type of program. I have tried a week fixing this. You can even see the two other files in the background, but they always give an error. I don't know why. If any one of you can help me out there, please write in the comments. I would love to see my own type of encoder for cassettes. Yeah, but I couldn't unfortunately fix that. So what's there to do? Remember when I told you about the Commodore 64? Well, the dataset somehow stored data on a cassette, so I naturally searched the internet for some answers. And I came across the Kansas City Standard. It's a standard encoder for cassettes, and it's from Kansas, hence the name, I think. I didn't really read much into it, but yeah, it works. And the way I got it working was a little bit rough, to say the least. If you try to run the actual encoder on Windows 11, it doesn't work. Why? Because it's a 16-bit application on a modern 64-bit operating system. And although Windows has some installer support for 16-bit applications, it doesn't always work. And so I tried to install Windows 98 on a virtual machine. Here's a little clip on how that went. As you can see, it throws error before it even gets to the desktop. So I just installed Windows XP on the virtual machine, and it actually worked this time. Let's listen to that. I think that is enough. We can imagine how the rest of this goes. So, well, how does it work? So, let me show you. Okay, first you got your encoder batch file. You just open it, edit it, and you have to pay attention to the order of the files. First is your file you want to encode, and the second file you have to write in that little line is the name of the WAV file. You also have to remember that you have to append the extensions of the files, or else it won't work. Okay, if you just want your file now back, you have to decode it, obviously. Just open the decode batch file, edit your WAV file name and the actual file you want to get back, and yeah, you have to also here remember that you have the right file extension, or else it will give you another file type you cannot really use because the original WAV did store another file type. Okay, so I hope this video has been enjoyed by you. If you've made it this far, please consider a like or a subscribe. Also, please consider checking out my game Pixel Slide if you haven't, and also newly on itch.io, my very own Deathcast remake. Yeah, also if you want to see more game content, it's over on Gaming Lux. Also consider subscribing there. Until next time, happy gaming.